Belur, India, and now I would like to request the head and room and even all possible opportunities to grow and look
India. Vivekananda decided to discontinue some of the traits to H1 at Navaigamba, Nandi.
May all be happy. Ma kasche dukkha bhag bhave.
The location of the VTC has been
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vivekananda, and a very good afternoon to you all. As I sat there listening to the previous presenters, I thought to myself, have we come far when we talk about agriculture in Fiji? Or have we gone a step back if we look at our import bill for the country? If we look at what we eat, if we look at what we buy, if we look at our lifestyles now, if we look at the health issues that is plaguing not only Fiji but the Pacific, I think instead of becoming a more healthier nation, we have become a more diseased nation. Statistics show that Fiji ranks very high in terms of NCDs, diabetes, hypertension, and that's a reality. And the solution, ladies and gentlemen, I think lies before us. It lies within each one of us. If we just think for a second, when was the last time we actually thought about what we are eating, what we are growing, what we are doing? The answer might baffle us. We are not doing much. I mean, I'll let your economics teachers do the maths for you, or your history teachers do some teachings for you, or your economics teachers tell you about how much we import and how much we produce. But if you go to the markets today, our local markets are full of fresh fruits and vegetables. It all depends on the choices we make. Are we going to choose our local guava over apples that we import? Are we going to choose imported cabbage and celery and lettuce over the ones that our farmers grow locally? What are we going to do? Do we like our local mandarin better than the oranges that is sold in the supermarkets? What is it? So I'll let you think about that. But coming back to today, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's a very important occasion for us, and I'm indeed blessed to be here. And firstly, I'd like to congratulate all our farmers and the families for the support. And of course, it's you who's going to make a difference. It's you who has taken time out to be part of this very, very important mission to ensure that not only you grow as farmers, but you also grow fresh fruits and vegetables that not only your families and the community needs, but one that the nation needs. So thank you very much. And I know it takes a lot of courage. We have our mature students, and you are all part of the lifelong learning that we want to promote, and of course the inclusiveness that we want everybody to be part of the education system. Education system is no longer only for the students and the young. It's for everybody, and so you are part of Fiji's new education system. And I think you must be very proud of that, and I'd like to thank you for the effort. And of course, thank you very much to the Ramakrishna Mission Fiji and all the stakeholders who have been part of this, and I commend you for the good work done. And I also note with much appreciation that you started off with close to 40 students, and now you have 143 plus farmers. And I wish and pray to the Almighty that we have more numbers joining us. And as a government of the day, we stand ready to support you for anything that is going to benefit not only our Fijian farmers, their families, but the nation as a whole. So ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful example of community education that we are witnessing here today, and something, a venture which has taken about 3 years after its inception, and I'd like, once again, I'd like to say that I wish this project the very best. If I can quote from Swami Vivekananda, who said correctly that education is not only book learning, but the training by which the expression of will is brought under control and becomes fruitful. And today, you all have achieved that exactly, and I'm sure you will reap the benefits, not only literally the fruits, but if you look at it in real life, the achievements that you will achieve from now on, because you gain the knowledge, you gain the skills, and you are going to put that into practice, not only making a career out of that, but again, focusing on the health of our nation as well. So thank you very much, and ladies and gentlemen, quality, there's something that I focus on. Quality, it's very important no matter what you do, whether it's quality education, whether it's quality farmers, whether it's quality produce, and of course, you know, with quality, other things follow. I'm going to share a small example with you of how we grow up, and this is for the students. I don't know how many of you have planted something so far, and you've actually seen that seed that you put in the soil grow and bear fruit. Because we are all farmers, eh? And so I don't know what your experiences as a farmer is, but I can tell you my dad made us wake up early in the morning and go to the farm and plant and water and pick up. I still remember the beans and the bindi and the tomatoes and everything that we picked up. I lived just across here. 5 minutes from here was my home. Okay, so I'm a Navy girl too. And at that time, I did not realize how important it was to grow food and to consume food. I used to go to Navy market and sell. That's in the 80s. We would, in the afternoon after school, we'd go to the farm, pick out tomatoes, pick out everything, and then put it into boxes. This is the grade A, grade B, grade C. And my dad would put a sticker there. This lettuce is for 10 cents. 10 cents. Big lettuce for 10 cents. You're not going to get it now. Fresh manure. Water from the river and the well. And we would grow it. And we would handle it with so much love. You know, one lettuce plant would give us 10 cents. And I remember on a Saturday morning, actually sitting beside with a piece of tarpaulin and putting all the vegetables there with my siblings. And we used to be happy because the money used to come in our hand. And the leftovers would go to the neighbors, we would sell it. And that actually continued till we moved to buy, and then well, somehow it stopped. You know, when you grow up and then it stops. What do parents do now? Do we let our children walk on the soil? Do we let our children play in the soil? No, Umar, nahi, chaka lag jaye. No? That's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. We need to love that soil that gives us life. It's not dirt. Soil is life. So we need to value them. And I'm so proud of our farmers, not only our farmers here this morning, but all the farmers across Fiji who try to fill our local markets with fresh fruits and vegetables. But I'm so angry with people who don't make the right choice. We don't make the right choice. If we make the right choice, we have abundance of land in our country, we have abundance of opportunities, we have a lot of stakeholders who are going to hold your hand and take you through that. All we need is what? The willpower. So the students here this this afternoon, these are your heroes. You've got to learn from them. Age is no barrier. Of course, I saw the barrier is you need to own some land. So if you own land, you can be part of the program, but if you don't own land, I'm sure all of us have backyard gardens. There's enough room within our compounds that we can utilize to produce vegetables for at least home consumption. Okay? And I think today talks about being practical. Today talks about being practical. Okay, degrees and certificates. Of course, you'll be receiving recognition certificates for the hard work that you've shown. But what's more important than that is you put your actual knowledge in growing your farms. Okay? I traveled to Indonesia with millions of people living there, farmers. They're the backbone of this. Even India, Saudi talked about India. When we go out and visit countries with large population, we realize how important food is. Of course, food is important. I think about food all the time. 24 hours I'm thinking about food. Right? So, I think everybody talks about food. But again, if I can come back and say, the type of food that you eat makes you who you are. Okay? I stand here another example. I'm not supposed to be here today. My doctor says you can't go because you're very sick. I don't look sick like this, huh? But we have a lot of sickness within us. And it all comes because of the food that we eat, the lifestyle that we have. Agriculture, I think farmers are very active people and they're very strong people because they can withstand the heat. And when you walk on the farm, it's like a physical activity for you too. And it also, I think, will help you avoid a lot of other diseases that we people get when we sit in offices and work, something like that. So apart from making money, apart from advancing in your career, apart from putting healthy, fresh foods for the nation and your family, I think there's a lot more that you do. You stand as inspiration to other young people who seem to have forgotten that you can make a career out of agriculture. As a teacher, I remember getting students to take up agriculture as a subject. They would say, what will I do with agriculture? So we used to go and talk to you. You can make a career out of agriculture, especially in Fiji, livestock, poultry. So I would like to leave you with a whole message, especially for the students. When you go to the supermarket or any store, maybe this afternoon or later in the weekend, look at all the food that we import. Go to the refrigerator section, go to the meat section. Look at all the dairy products, look at all the meat that we import. Not only do we import them at high cost, we eat them, we consume them at the expense of our health. So the choice again lies with you, and as young people, I think you can lead and be very good ambassadors of healthy living and make a career out of these subjects. I've also, there was also talk about value adding to our products. When you produce something, the way you market your produce. A simple example, I mean, again we're sharing with Swamiji. The way we sell things on the roadside or in the market, it has to be sold in a very clean and a hygienic manner. So you're trying to sell coconuts. You have 100 coconut plants and you're trying to sell coconuts. In Suva, coconut costs $5. $5, $3. So how do we sell it? We put it on a small box kind of thing and we cut it there and we put a straw there and sell it. How about we value add to that? How about we make that whole coconut, take up the size of that and make it look presentable with a little flour and stuff like that. You appeal to people with that cleanliness. Okay? You sell vegetables by the roadside, the sun comes and the vegetable gets wilted. You don't get the price that you would normally get if your vegetables were fresh. You know, Green Revolution, high quality, high breed or probably higher quality seeds. And they will definitely fetch you higher prices for your products. If you continue to grow the same variety of tomatoes that was grown 20 years ago, but you've got to understand the world has moved 10 or 20 steps and there are better variety. And I think this is where the skill and the knowledge that you are exposed to will come in handy for you. So market your products is also important. And so I know you're all excited to get your certificates, and you've been very brave to leave your domestic duties, etc. The things that you do within your house, you've taken time out. I've seen pictures of your farms. But ladies and gentlemen, there's a very small step. There's a long way to go. Okay? There's a very small step that you've taken, but the fact that you've taken the step, that's what's important. Please keep that passion. It's very important. It must come from your heart. It must come from your heart. The love for what you are doing, growing, looking after it, and then of course trying to market your products. I've been told that a lot of interest has been shown by other stakeholders to ensure that they provide marketing opportunities for you. Processing opportunities is also very important. Otherwise, what's the use of growing a lot of vegetables or other products that you are not able to sell? But understand, in Fiji there is a market. There's always going to be a market with a growing population. It's what you grow, how you grow it. A lot of, again, we're talking about why should farmers learn about climate change? What has agriculture got to do with climate change? And as students, I think it's also very important for you to know how your country has been affected by climate change. Climate change, sea level rise, salinization of soils, then what happens? We lose fertile agricultural land, then decline in production. Or if the soil fertility goes down, what do? You keep pumping chemicals and pesticides to ensure that we have quantity production. What happens? Goes down into rivers and seas. And there's a whole range of issues. So health, so if you look at agriculture, agriculture is linked to health. Agriculture can help you get out of poverty. Agriculture can help the nations grow. It helps reduce your import bill. It brings in revenue. There's so many things to that. So the topic today, I think, is one that really should matter to each one of us. Whether you are in the corporate world or whether you are in the school, whether you are professions, agriculture is important. At one time, I think children used to be the backbone of Fiji. Now it's slowly going away. But what we can do, like I said, with the right tropical climate, with abundance of land availability, with good stakeholder engagement, with support from governments and other organizations and NGOs, we can let our agriculture take us to another level. Okay? And it's a very small number, like I said, we agree it's a very small number, but remember every individual can make a difference. And you yourself are making a difference, not only for yourself, but for your community and of course, making it proud. So ladies and gentlemen, all in all, students, I know, I hope a little bit of what I've said is gone into you. Eat healthy, that's very important. Support people who help us grow healthy food, that's very important. Keep encouraging them. Go home, start up your own home gardening, that's very important. Why do we need to go to the market every morning? I mean, I'm not trying to take your business away from you. What I'm trying to say is, if everybody grew the very basic, you grew your chilies, you have a guava plant, you have a few eggplants, stuff like that. Every home can have that. And you've got to start that. So very soon we'll be introducing the school gardening competition. Last year's budget we were allocated a sum of money, where now we are going to go back. I remember it used to happen before. Competitions used to be done. Now it used to be, who has the best school garden? But it sort of died out. So we need to bring that interest back. So aligned to what you do here, we are very soon will be launching that competition with Ministry of Agriculture, so that schools can once again get that passion back from the students to start school gardens. And eventually, we want you to have your home gardens as well. Okay? So I'll leave you with these words. I have to travel back to Suva, but thank you very much for having me here. I'm sorry, Nikat, I forgot you. The Fiji Higher Education Commission is working in partnership with the technical colleges in accreditation of courses. And I thank you for the work that you do and your team does at the Fiji Higher Education Commission. Thank you very much. To the technical college staff, once again, thank you very much for doing what you do in supporting the government's initiative in inclusive and lifelong education. Thank you to all the farmers and thank you to all your families for the support that they have provided you. Please keep working hard, and like I said, because you grow healthy food, you should have no health problems, but look after your health, stay away from stress, and keep looking after us with good and healthy food. To the students, I wish you all the very best for your upcoming exams, and thank you again.
Maharaj, the Assistant General Secretary of Ramakrishna